President David, my favorite Rotarians, and my lovely guests. Good afternoon. How are you all doing today?
Good.
Good? Excellent. Just looking at you guys again, it's good to be home. And I'm pretty confident that all of you are mature enough to recognize this song. Except Cindy, maybe. She might have heard of it, but it's a very old song. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Right? Exactly. What a way to make a living. We only wish to work from 9 to 5 and still be able to make a living in Hong Kong. Don't you think? I mean, from 9 to 5 is barely half a day in Hong Kong. And probably some of you had some crazy morning before you get to this meeting. We all work very hard, and we have a lot of responsibilities at work, at home, socially. And to release the stress from work and responsibilities, we treat ourselves a nice vacation. Once a year, a week or two. Unless, of course, you're French. Even then, as soon as you come back from the holiday, you feel like, I need another holiday. Right away. Even a nicer one. Right? So what we do is we work even harder and take on more responsibilities. Does it make sense to you? But what can you do, right? When you can't beat them, join them. So to join these monsters and still get what we want and be happy. I'm going to talk about that today. So consider me as a reminder of things that you already know and do, using Qigong as a tool. So even if I share things that you already know, please be considerate for other ignorant people in this room. Then let's talk about Qi. What is Qi? Qi is one of many names of calling the energy exists in the space. Together with Reiki, Qi, space energy, free energy, and so on. And it runs in our body too. On a dry winter day, when you try to shake hands with someone and there's a spark, ouch, that's Qi too. Except we have a name for it. It is called bioelectricity. Electricity. We use it every day. You all used it today to hit the elevator buttons, particularly the close buttons. We've done it once or twice before. When somebody's running for the elevator, then there's a kind of unspoken rule. Hit it. And then you go close, close, right? Mobile phones, touch screens, we use it every day. And we need Qi to run this factory called body through our entire lifetime. So it helps to have strong, powerful electricity running the factory. That is the theory of Qigong. Understanding Qi exists in the space, in our body, and in everything. So for you to experience how this bioelectricity works in our body, I'm going to give you 2 demos of 2 minutes each. One right after this introduction, one at the very end. Generally it takes several trials for people to feel a sense chi working in your system. Depending on the level of sensitivity of a person, I, for example, am very, very sensitive kind. So when I get acupuncture, you know, after they poke needles on your body, they hook you up to this machine. Mine is always the lowest setting. But then some of you may enjoy the highest setting. Like, give me the highest electricity so I don't get roasted, but I get to enjoy it. So high setting, and you may go, this is really good. So it really depending on your sensitivity level. And probably 1/3 of you should be able to feel something at the first demo. And probably 2/3 of you should be able to feel something at the second demo. And those 1/3 of you who can't sense anything until after the second demo, well, apparently God didn't create us all equally. But don't worry, it's a matter of sensitivity. Even if you don't sense it, it still works. And also, I want you to know that it is safe to receive chi or chi treatment from me or from anyone. It's like acupuncture, but only safer. Qigong and acupuncture both work with the same principle, the meridian system. Unlike acupuncture, Qigong doesn't put needles on your body, and Qigong doesn't ask you to take your clothes off before treatment. See how safe that is? And also, it is high frequency energy, which we'll talk about it a bit later, about the frequency. And it is the vital energy that charges your battery. So each time you receive it, it makes you feel good. And this question may come up at some point, so I'm going to give you the answer first. The answer is no. I cannot give you the evil energy because I'm not that high level yet. And if you have any aches and pains while you're receiving chi from me, even if it's just a couple of minutes, try to pay attention to those areas of your body, because in quantum physics and in Qigong, we believe chi goes wherever your mind goes. So enough talking about it. I know he's still eating, but I'm sure he can stop you for a second. Okay, enough talking about it. I'm going to give you the first demo. It's going to be 2 minutes, and I'll guide you through. So whatever it is, just trust me and just relax. Let's try 2 minutes then. May I ask you to all stand up, please? Stand up and legs apart, about shoulder width, and then put your hands out like that, and palms facing the ceiling. Palms facing the ceiling. Okay, and then it helps if you close your eyes and just. The second best way to receive chi is when you're receptive. The best way is when you're unconscious. I can't really knock you down, all of you. So put your condition to closest to falling asleep. Okay, let's start 2 minutes. Close your eyes. Let's take a breathing, just take a deep breath and breathe out first. And then take a slow breathing in. And all the way down to your belly button. And slowly breathe out. Whatever it is, just let it Qi goes into your body and does its thing that is necessary in your body. Slowly breathe in, and while you're breathing out, try to relax all your muscles in your body. If you have old injuries, there'll be some extra tingling sensations. Just let it happen. Be receptive. Slowly breathe in and out. Close to falling asleep. If you have neck pains, joint pains, it may rotate it involuntarily. Just let it happen. You will have bigger range of motion afterwards. Just slowly. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, please sit down now. How was it? Anybody sensed anything?
It's like Sunday Mass.
Sorry?
It's like Sunday Mass.
Sunday Mass, yes. Amen. You can sense the heat in your palm. Go on. Rotary Albert, you were moving your neck, and how was the neck feeling?
Relaxing.
Relaxing. Was it your intentional move, or it was just like... Yeah. But it feels better after you. That's the initial experience with Qi. Did you feel anything? Sorry? Was there any old injury?
Don't worry.
It's an old injury. If you have old injuries or any anything, then you will feel the extra tingling sensation. Did you feel anything? Palms, right? Because the Qi goes in and out the best through your palms and the bottom of your feet and the crown of your head. That's why it's normal to feel that. So pay attention to the second demo at the end, and then you will definitely feel something more. Because now you know what it feels like. So that's Qi, your first experience. When we were born, all our meridians are open. So babies and kids, they get the energy directly from the source. So they hardly ever get tired. And even if they are tired, they can bounce back like this. After a minute of nap, they have fully charged and they can run around again. And then kids, they have Qi concentrated in the feet. So they need to jump up and down, and they need to run around because there's Qi, so they need to do something with it. Particularly in restaurants and public places, kids run around, so you have to understand, their Qi is concentrated in their feet. And as we get older, Qi moves up to the middle part, teens and 20s. So they would like to get active with that area. So jumping up and down and running around is not going to cut it. I'd like to be active with my middle part where my Qi is concentrated. And then we pass that age and go into 30s and 40s. The Qi goes up to the heart. So 30s and 40s, you want to do something passionate. I want to love passionately. I want to work passionately. Then it goes up to 50s and 60s. Now the Qi goes up to the mouth. So what happens is, well, everybody knows because you're all over 50. So what happens is, day after your 50th birthday, have you noticed when you wake up, you become really chatty? Like, when I'm having like lunch or dinner with my guy friends over 50, I become a very good listener because there's no chance for me to cut in. I mean, girls, we've been establishing the rules, right? So she talks and she talks and she talks, and I know at one point, before this brunch is over, I'm going to have my turn. So basically, our chi gets weaker, like an old battery. It charges, but then it drains so fast. So we get tired easily, and apparently we talk a lot too. So then how are we going to manage chi as we get older? In Qigong, we believe the answer is collecting and centering chi in Tantian. Tantian is located your own 3 fingers, because everybody's body is proportionate, right? So your own 3 fingers right below your belly button, and here's Dantian. And Tantian is sort of in the middle of your body, torso. So that's where Tantian is located. We have all 7 chakras in our body. Everybody has 7. So they're all located from the crown of your head to the tailbone. This is in Sanskrit, there's a name for it from here to there. It's called Sushumna. So all 7 chakras are lined up. You must have seen this graphic, a person seated down, and 7 lights, rainbow lights all lit up, and then white lights coming down from the crown of the head. That is a graphic for a person who is in a meditative state. And Tantian is the powerhouse, the engine of our body. And it is also in charge of creativity, self-esteem, and sexuality. And 6 other chakras are like local power stations that distribute chi to our vital organs. So Sushumna, from here to here, is the main highway for chi. So developing chakras through practice like Qigong, Tai Chi, or yoga, developing chakras meaning that you're paving the road for chi. So from dial-up service to a high-speed internet, or from 100 volts to 1,000 volts. When this happens, our aura, in other words, electromagnetic field gets stronger and powerful. When our electromagnetic field gets powerful, in other words, when we become a bigger magnet, then we start to pull in, start to attract a lot more things that we weren't able to do. So bigger magnet attracting everything more, good and bad. I mean, our life is already like enough bad stuff. We want more good things in life. Then how do we attract only good things? Can we pick and choose, like law of attraction? In Qigong, we believe the answer is resonance. Let's talk about this tuning fork experimentation. Let's put a tuning fork of a certain frequency here. Let's call it A. Then far apart, we line up like tuning forks of different frequencies, far apart. Then you hit this tuning fork A, then only the tuning fork with the same frequency as A will start vibrating on its own without touching. So even if you stop tuning fork A, it will still continuously vibrating until you stop it. So it shows that whatever you want to attract, whatever you want, you need to keep yourself same frequency as that. Then how how do we know which one is which frequency? It is simple. Things that we want, things that makes us happy, is in high frequency. Like happiness, love, compassion, gratitude. Gucci, Prada, Chanel. And things that we don't want is in low frequency, like depression, disappointment, hatred, resentment, bills, credit card statements from Gucci, Prada, Chanel. And now, okay, I get it. I need to be in high frequency all the time. Then how do I manage myself keeping in high frequency all the time? In Qigong, we believe the answer is through meditation. Whenever I talk about meditation, people are going, oh my God, I have no time. And I can't sit cross-legged. Or, oh my God, I can't stop thinking about stuff when I'm trying to meditate. Well, first of all, who's got time for meditation, right? So we'll talk about that a bit later. And seated meditation is one of many ways of doing meditation. And if you can't stop thinking of stuff while you're trying to meditate, that's a good news, because bioelectricity sparks in your brain, and that's thought. So without thoughts, it is safe to assume that you're deadish. So meditation is basically simply hitting the reset button. I said reset, not the factory setting. Factory setting is I don't know my name, I don't know where I live. So at least you want to know your name and you want to go home at the end, right? So what do you do when your computer is going a bit nutty? Before you call the business person in any company, the IT person, what you do is you turn it off and on. And generally it works, right? About 90% of the time, it just works fine. It takes what? 2-3 minutes? That's the kind of time that you need to reset yourself. When you're really stressed and frustrated, people say, oh, just take a slow breath all the way down to your tummy and try to breathe out and relax all your muscles that you know of. If you have tried, you know what I'm talking about. It is very, very difficult to do that. Because when you're upset or when you're frustrated or when your emotional balance is broken, your chi goes up. So your breathing gets shallower and shallower. So it takes several trials to bring your breathing down, even to the lungs. And then when you try to breathe out and relax, you'll realize, remember this painting called Scream? Your muscles are all twisted and tangled like this. Like, ah! So if you don't reset yourself often enough, this is the kind of environment that you're exposing yourself, your mind and body, to just for too long period of time. Imagine what will do that to your mental and physical health. And also, meditation is listening to your guts, listening to your inner voice. I mean, many of us been living, myself included, I've been listening to outer voices way more than inner voice. I hardly have had time to listen to my guts. So meditation is getting in touch with your subconscious, your inner self, God, Allah, the Buddha nature, the oneness, Dailo, whatever you want to name it. And ultimately, we want to tap into that infinite wisdom. Well, it is called enlightenment, and it sounds like a really big, but enlightenment happens every day. For example, when you're resting your brain, you get more great ideas. And obviously, we make more wise decisions when we are emotionally, mentally stable. Like muddy water in a glass, if you keep it in a long period, then the dirt will settle down at the bottom, and then clear water will float at the top. Something like that. And there are so many brand names for meditation. Vipassana, Zen, Tantric, yoga, Tai Chi, prayer. You can just pick and choose anything and everything that goes well with what you're wearing, or whatever is in trend, as long as it's simple and easy for you to do it anytime, anywhere, whenever you need it. Here's a simple tool I would like to share with you today. If you have a few seconds to a couple of minutes, while you're walking down the street, waiting for coffee to be made, waiting for an elevator to arrive, just simply pay attention to yourself, what you're thinking, what you're doing. You will notice, you'll realize how many little weird habits that you have. Like what kind of words that you pick frequently when you talk to people, and what kind of posture, how you seated down, how you're standing up. These few seconds here and there every day adds up, and that's a time to get to know yourself better. And if you have more than a couple of minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, listen to sound or music or anything that makes you relax, that makes you happy. Just completely bury yourself in that music. And that is meditation. It only takes a few minutes, and it's way more effective than half an hour awkwardly seated down and trying not to think of stuff. And then, 2 minutes, David. It'll be done in 2 minutes. And then, after this reset is over, this is a time for you to bring your vibration level up high. Anything that makes you feel happy, grateful, whatever makes you laugh. And this is the best time for you to pray. And if you don't believe in anything, that I don't believe in anything, I don't believe in God, then this is a time to make a wish. Remember resonance and a frequency thing I talked about? When you're laughing, when you're happy, when you're grateful, your vibration is high. You're in high frequency. That is the time to think of things that you want. And it'll help things manifest faster and resonate better. Mind you, happiness is a state of mind. It's not conditional. Not after you get this promotion, not after you moved into a bigger house, not after I'm married to this guy. Imagine how your life will improve when you make more wise decisions and when you attract a lot more happy things. So before you go out and join the monsters, I'm going to give you one last chance of key if we have time. If not, then we can finish it right here.
Finish with that. We're
Okay,
already
then.
10 minutes. I just keep people have already gone.
Okay.
Wasn't the speech has to pay a fine if they overrun?
Well, I timed it well. It just overran with the other stuff. But anyway, then we'll skip the second demonstration. And thank you very much for having me here. It's been an honor and pleasure to share my story.